When I bought my first 3D printer, I made mistakes that cost me around $800. How to choose 3D printer? It's not an easy task. In this week's video from the Maker Letters, you will learn which 3D printer I think is one of the best, maybe the best, for hobbyists. You've come here to learn more about buying 3D printers. I'll give you my brief and personal 3D printer buying guide. I studied the wrong data and made a poor investment decision when I bought my first 3D printer. Those mistakes cost me 6 weeks and, as pointed out, around $800. I bought a 3D printer, never got the 3D printer to perform. Accidentally smashed it when I was searching for errors. Took the loss and got another one from another brand. Tune into this video and evade my mistakes. I'll post the video as 5 questions about 3D printers. Question number 1. If I were to buy my first 3D printer today, would I buy a pre-assembled 3D printer or a 3D printer kit? This question depends on who you are and what you enjoy doing. I manage a small business and run my 3D printer in the shop. Bringing the 3D printer kit together will take me like 14 hours. I prefer to press print and then 3D print my 3D design made in Autodesk Fusion 360. For characters like me, a pre-assembled 3D printer with automatic bed leveling is the first choice. For a 3D printer techie with a lot of time on their hands, a 3D printer kit might be a more fun choice. Question number 2. 3D printers can print different materials. What should you start 3D printing with? For 3D printing hobbyists and beginners, it is most popular to start with PLA or PETG. I propose that you start with PLA. In my point of view, it is the simplest and most forgiving material to start with. Question number 3. What did you look for when you acquired your first 3D printer that you wouldn't pay attention to if you could fly back in time? When I got my 3D printer, many companies advertised the 3D printer's paste. I don't honestly think it matters. I prefer a simpler, reliable, steady 3D printer before a faster 3D printer that doesn't work. I likewise went too much with the looks when I bought my first 3D printer. A lovely looking 3D printer will turn into your burden if it rests around being cute but doesn't provide. Question number 4. What did you overlook when you bought your first 3D printer that you should have paid better attention to? You buy a 3D printer from a business. Have a long-term perspective on your relationship with this enterprise. Where is the business going? What is the reputation for their current 3D printers? And what do they have in their pipeline for the 3D printing future? Does the 3D printing community and fanbase grow around the business? How is the reputation for after sales and 3D printing customer service? Technical 3D printing details can be copied, company culture must grow organic and can't be replicated. About technical 3D printing details, I would make sure I bought a 3D printer prepared for 1.75mm PLA. I would also look at the 3D print volume capacity. 3D printing takes a lot of time and I never leave my prints unattended. You don't need a massive 3D printer in my opinion. How big? It depends on your 3D printing purposes. Question number 5. Which 3D printer do you recommend for 3D printing beginners and 3D printing hobbyists in 2023? I personally recommend any 3D printer from Prusa Research for 3D printing beginners and 3D printing small businesses. I print my 3D prints on the original Prusa i3 MK 3S Plus, but I also think that the Prusa Mini is an interesting option for 3D printing enthusiasts. If you made it this far and learned something, hit the subscribe button or hit like. It really helps a lot for us YouTube producers when viewers engage with our videos. Thank you.